Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted. Everybody around me thugging. Everybody around me drugging. Everybody around me hustling. Everybody know not to bring no new rigging around me. They say I be bugging. Got racks in the go-yard luggage. Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. This is another episode of Uncut with Q, and I'm your host, Quentin Flores. Guys, this has been so phenomenal. We've been filming these episodes back to back. We're back on the podcast train again. And I know that a lot of you guys have been asking us for more episodes from different types of shows that I felt were pretty good, but we didn't really give them an honest shot. We're going to be bringing it back. So if this is your first time listening, it's very simple, y'all. The fee for the show is you share the show. So if you get value from this, you get some type of thought process from this, maybe a question, some type of, I don't know, maybe something you've grown up with that you've always thought about. If it makes you question reality, that's my goal for the show. And so I really love and I appreciate everybody that's been supporting this. As you listen to this show, make sure that you guys take notes and just pay attention, man. Put this thing on while you're driving if you have to. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, we have different types of shows. We have one that's called Real Talk. I come on here 15, 20 minutes, and I say some things from my heart and my mind that I feel could benefit you. We have Long Form, where I have a guest fly in, and today is one of those types of episodes, super dope. Then we also have Surf the Web, and then we have a mindset show. And so those are the different types of shows you guys can get. Y'all can go through the entire plethora of just information that we have available for y'all on the Uncut with Q podcast and any of these different platforms that you're listening to this from. There is something new. In the description section, there is a link now where you can literally message us and we'll get those directly into the host of this podcast. We host our podcast on Buzzsprout. So Buzzsprout sends it to everyone. We host our podcast on Buzzsprout, but Buzzsprout puts it on about 50 different podcast platforms. So this is something that's a new feature that's added. I want to hear from y'all. If you guys have something that you want us to talk about on the show, you have something you want to address, if you go to the description of the show, there's actual link there that'll give you a form. You can fill it out and submit the info, and we can talk about it here on the show. I'd love y'all to participate more. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into it, man. I have two people that are super awesome. They actually came down here, not just because I'm mentoring them and coaching them, but they have been successful long before I was ever involved with their operation, and it's super dope. They also delivered me your boy a dog, which the dog will probably be here by the end of this episode. So I'm super excited to see. Without further ado, go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
I'm Destiny.
And I'm Malik. And yeah, we're from Georgia, but originally I'm from Jamaica. She's from Florida. Yeah, and we met 2020, yeah, in the pandemic.
During COVID?
Yeah, during COVID.
It's been super cool getting to know you guys. I have to say this on a public platform. Y'all are like the most interesting couple that I've come across. You know what I mean? And I haven't. Y'all are actually like my first couple that I've had that are like not only like lovers in real life. You know what I'm saying? But also like business owners, operators, and entrepreneurs that are doing something. Yeah. You know, and y'all have been successful in so many areas. You know, and it's been super cool getting to know you guys, not on just a mentor level. I love mentoring. I love coaching. Yeah. It's a business. And it's also a passion, you know. So for me, that's near and dear to my heart that you guys are consistently seeking growth, and just everything that y'all have been able to do, you know. But before me, y'all were already doing a lot, and I want to get into that, and that's why I asked y'all to be on my podcast. I really appreciate y'all being on my show.
No problem, man. Thank you for having us.
So, dude, the question that I have is, I know you guys met. And y'all decided to, were y'all automatically going into business together at the beginning? Or was it like getting to know each other? Were y'all even entrepreneurs before y'all met?
We did long distance. So we met on Snapchat. I was in Florida. He just moved to New Jersey. And at first, I didn't even want a boyfriend. So I ignored him for like a few weeks. And he's like, what do you look like? Hey, da-da-da. And I'm like, no, like I'm not going to entertain this. And then someone's pulling me to his message. Like, I've had messages, but something with him was different. So I messaged him back, and I was like, I sent him a picture of me, just a selfie, and he's like, oh my God, like, whatever. So we started talking, and then he asked me out, and I was just like, okay, like, I guess let's do this. And then we did a whole long distance thing for a year, and he never told me nothing about business. He was secretly doing business, but told me nothing. We both worked 9 to 5s. He worked at Gap. I worked at Publix. Never talked about financial, money, anything. We've always talked about living together, but we met when I was 16. He was 18, and it was like just long distance for a year. And then he was moving down, right?
You were
To your
living in
mom?
Jamaica at this time?
No.
No, he
I was
just
actually,
moved to New
So
Jersey.
I moved to New Jersey in 2019.
Oh.
And yeah, I was there for like a year and we met in 2020. So
Cool.
yeah, so within that time, so when I just came from Jamaica, I was in New Jersey, and then I just didn't like the 9 to 5 thing, man. It just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So
What inspired you to leave Jamaica and come to, to Jersey?
So first it was my mom, because my mom, no, my dad. Both my mom and my dad. My dad lives in New Jersey, but my mom is in Jamaica. So my dad, he wasn't a part of my life, but my mom was wanting me to be here in the U.S. So she helped out with my dad to like get filings and stuff like that. Like it's like a whole process.
Like
of
a whole
getting
process.
Yeah, getting the green card and stuff like that. So she paid him to have me like get the green card and stuff so I could be legal here. But yeah, and that's how I came here, and then I was living with my dad in New Jersey and stuff. So yeah, it was dependent on my mom and my dad. So I really didn't have nothing to do with coming here. But yeah.
Were you doing business stuff in Jamaica too, or like just when you got here?
Like when you're in high school and stuff, you selling like stuff here and there, like candy and stuff like that. Yeah, we were doing that. So then I came to New Jersey. Then I didn't want to do the 9 to 5, so I googled how ways to make money online. So dropshipping popped up. I was like, that sounds interesting. And it's like you not got to do a lot of work and stuff like that. So I started doing that, and I started doing research, started watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, like everybody does. But then like I noticed something different with the way how they were saying I could do it. I could do influencer marketing. So that's where you send a product to the influencer, have them create a video. So back then TikTok was relatively new. So we'll have the influencer make a video with the product, and then it gets views and it blows up, and then we generate sales. I send the customers to the websites. So that's how I was like generating income while still working a 9 to 5 at the Gap. So, and then from then I've been doing that. Then I've been just stacking up the money, saving my money until my mom eventually moved from Jamaica to Georgia. Then that's when I moved in with her. And then that's when, yeah.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, Mom, like, can I leave? And she's like, what do you mean leave? Like, I was like, I shouldn't even ask her. Like, I'm 17. She's going to be like, no, da-da-da. And so I was like, okay. I got the courage to ask her. And I'm like, Mom. Well, I asked Malik. I was like, should we move in together? He's like, yeah. Like, if your mom says yeah. So I asked my mom, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, what? Like, I can leave? And she was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. And I was like, you're lying. Like, for a whole week, I thought she was lying. I thought she was kidding. I'm like, you are not about to let me leave. Like, my mom's strict. Like, no boyfriend, no this, no that. So I'm like, she's not going to let me leave. So asking. She's like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm going to ask you one more time because I'm going to pack my stuff tonight. Like, and she's like, Destiny, I'm being serious. You can leave. And I was just like, really? So I called Malik, I'm packing my stuff. Like, come on, like, I'm going to move.
I did not believe that.
Yeah, I packed my stuff that day and left like a few days after. They met halfway and we moved in together into like a little basement. We were renting, and then we started like doing business from there. Like, I did my own phone case company. He kind of did like drop shipping still. I didn't know much about it until that's finally when he told me, hey, back in December when I got you those Christmas gifts, I actually made, what'd you say, like 50?
Yeah, so
50,000 or something.
So at the time, because it was Christmas and it's like the end of Q4,
of course,
it was like people are going crazy for like finding gifts like last minute. So I had these phone cases. That's the thing that really took off for me. It was like this Nintendo Game Boy phone case that goes on the back of your phone. You could play video games
and you
from.
can just literally turn it and play a game on the back of your phone.
On your back
case.
of your phone. It was crazy.
And you don't need no battery or nothing.
You don't need no battery. It's like rechargeable. You use a USB-C type cable.
Yeah.
So I shipped it out to influencer. She was like in the, what did I say, like the goth type niche. You know what I'm saying? It looks like something that she could promote on her page. Like it fits well with whatever else she was posting. Then that blew up like a lot, and then
she had a lot of following too. She's like, like Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, like all them type big following.
No, that's another person.
You're not talking about Vonnie?
No, I'm not talking about Vonnie. That's a different. So the person that blew up the business was, she had like 300K followers, and I paid her like literally like $150 to post the video. and then that generated like 50K in sales.
Wow.
And at the time, I was using AliExpress to fulfill all these orders, so I had to go one by one, fulfilling each order, and then had to export. So I finally contacted the supplier and said, hey, is there an easier way for me to supply or fulfill all these orders? He's like, yeah, send me the CSV file, and I'll go in there and I'll fulfill it, then I'll send it back to you. All you got to do is just copy and paste each tracking number into each Shopify order. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I made 50,000 in December, and then that's when I got her some stuff. And then when she came up in January,
when we came up, that's when I knew. He told me about it, and I was like, oh, like I want to do that too. Like we don't want to work for nobody. So I did my own phone case, which wasn't drop shipping, but I would make a TikTok and post videos of, hey, I'm doing phone cases. You can customize them, this, that. Yeah. But right around that time, Casetify came out, and everybody knows them. So it was kind of hard. But then that's when we did our first, we started drop shipping, and we had the money to move into an apartment. So we moved from our basement to an apartment. That's where we wanted to grind out. We did every product we could, and we actually had quite a few products that blew up. The Airy Bear, the air freshener that I showed, that we showed you, that got 15 million views. But before that, we did a sanitizer, because it was during COVID. We did a sanitizer spray thing where you can spray it on the gas pumps and this and that. Yeah. That did well. We did Super Blaster, the gel blaster guns.
Yeah.
We did those. We did the shark slides, wavy boat, which was a boat that could never sink.
Yeah. We did a lot of products, man. And then we did these glasses, diffuser glasses. That's another product that took off as well for me. It's like a glasses that if you look in the light, it shows you hearts. It's like stars.
Or stars.
It's like a reflection of the light or something. It's crazy. It's pretty cool. So yeah.
Dude, and that's when we made a lot of money with those. Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah. Dude. All those. But the Airy Bears took off, and we were getting a few views and likes, and people are like, where can we get it? And then we're sitting here, and we'll never forget, we're sitting at this desk with our computer screen up, and we're just watching sales come in, and we have our ringers on, and every time you get a Shopify order, it's cha-ching, cha-ching. So we hear cha-ching, 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 just kept going, and we're watching, and we're like, oh, we're gonna hit 5K today, we're gonna hit 5K, and it goes past that, and we're like, oh, we're gonna hit 10, we're gonna get 10K, and we're sitting there, and the orders goes past that.
We say we're going at 15.
We're gonna get 15 past that.
We ended the day on 29,000 in sales.
Oh my God.
In a few hours.
In a few hours, not even a full day, which is crazy.
In a few hours, and we're sitting there, and it hits midnight, and already we wake up. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We got a couple thousand just sitting in there. It was just continuous, and we're like, okay, where we're at is by the airport in Atlanta at the moment, and it was a really bad neighborhood. That same day, we hear gunshots outside, and our window, from one window to the other window, is a brick, little slab, and it hit right there, an inch from our window. Yeah. We're we gotta leave. So as soon as that money came in, we bought his dream car. I got mine, but then brakes failed, got into an accident. But we wound up moving and bought out our lease so we could live in a better house to make more money. So that's where we're currently at in Georgia. We moved 30 minutes in a really nice house, brand new, just built. I think it's almost around 2,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Beautiful house. So we moved from our basement to an apartment, now to our house where we have all our fur babies.
Look at this.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man.
Traveled. When we made that money, we went on our first cruise together. That's the first time I've ever been out the country, was our first cruise, and now we've been on 2. Yeah. Right? 2 of them, and
that is just beautiful.
Traveling.
What a story, man! Yeah. What a story. And prior to you guys meeting, did anybody ever teach y'all any type of business, or is this just purely from just not wanting to be working for someone else?
Not wanting to work somewhere else.
What do you think that stems from for both of you? You know what I mean? Because we all have a past, right? So me, I grew up watching my mom struggle. Yeah. My mother was a dancer. My dad sold drugs. Yeah. So I knew for a fact that when I got older, I was going to be a hustler. Because I didn't ever want my daughter to ever go through what my mom went through.
Right.
I love my mom, you know. So if you're watching this, you're like, holy crap, Q's I'm not calling out my mom. I love my mom.
Yeah.
She's everything for me. She sacrificed so that I could live the life of my dreams.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so like the way I look at it is I honor my mom, and I'm so glad that she did what she did.
Exactly.
Because it showed me how I always want to be. I always want to be on the grind. I always want to be in the hustle. I always want to be growing. I always want to be expanding. And so like it stems from me seeing my mom struggle for me to want to be that person in my life that changes that for his entire family. And I have. Like I've the exact same way that you guys made it big and then you took care of what you've been wanting.
Yeah.
Those moments in your life, before we go into that, you guys answering the question, and I want to educate everybody here, right? Those are called emotional buys. Those are staples. Those are what you call like stops in life. I've always wanted this. I never thought I was able to have it. And now I own it.
Yep.
So this is the first trophy in my life. And as you grow and you expand across life and you get older, there's going to be more trophies.
Yeah.
And so for you guys, it was the dream cars. For y'all, it was the dream house that y'all live in. For me, it was my boat. For me, it was my Corvette. For me, it was my house. So like, we're so in alignment. You know what I'm saying? So like, guys, no matter how much money you make, anybody who tells you that you're an idiot for buying a fucking supercar or a fast car can take that and shove it because they're somebody who is not fulfilled. And that's just the reality. You have to find something that fulfills you in all of this. It would trip y'all out if I told y'all that I spend about 3% of my income on Magic the Gathering cards. And I know that sounds fucking crazy, but your boy literally fucking plays Magic. I love playing Magic. It is what I love to do.
Yeah.
People look at that and they're like, holy shit, Q's a fucking nerd. Why would you spend money on something that doesn't grow in value and it doesn't add it? No, dude, it does a lot for me.
Exactly.
And you'll never understand it, but you have something too. It's like shunning a guy who fucking plays golf, bro. I'm sorry, but unless you're in the leagues playing golf, I could say that it's pointless for you to go out there and fucking play golf because you're not getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to play golf. Go fuck yourself. It's not about that, man. It's about finding something that fulfills your soul and motivates you to keep going. Because the Corvette was my first staple. My next one going to be Lamborghini. The one after that's going to be Rolls Royce. The next one's going to be some fucking car in a different language in Dubai that you've never heard of before. And I'm going to drive it down a Texas street with spokes and spinners popping up and down with the switches that I put into it with a giant Bronco horn on the front. Then I've made it, okay? So like at that point, I might stop buying stuff. But I applaud you guys for that, dude. I think a lot of people deserve to treat themselves. If you've accomplished something in life that most people haven't, never beat yourself up for treating yourself. Everybody deserves a reward for the hard work that they put into their things, okay? So, dude, I wanted to ask, like, what does it come from for y'all? What is this entrepreneurship spirit that y'all have maintained? Where does it come from for both of you?
Well, before that, the whole fulfilled thing, I don't think we feel fulfilled yet. Both our goals in general are to be able to provide for our parents, which leads into why we do this, is both our parents. Like, my mom was, you know, single mom raising 6 babies. Like, his mom, single mom. Like, we didn't have that father figure. So I don't know if you want to
Yeah, it's both the same. I would say that as well. But it's like knowing how I grew up from in Jamaica, no water, no hot water. There was no electricity sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to live in the country areas where it's like mosquitoes, ticks, all those type of stuff. Knowing that, I'm coming from that. And I'm coming to like another country. I want to make the most out of it. There's a lot of opportunities here that you can take advantage of. And that's why when I came here and I started working at the Gap, I was taking the bus and then everybody else has their cars and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I want to have my own car to drive to work. I don't want to take the bus in freaking like snow because it's New Jersey. It snowed and it's really cold up there. So it's like those were driving factors in me as well. My dad, I never really met him all my life, but when I finally moved him, when I moved to New Jersey, he was strict, man. He was strict. So I don't want to live with him. I wanted to make that money and then move out. So it was like a driving factor as well, what pushed me to get into like the entrepreneur thing. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope.
And it was the same with me, but my mom was single mom, 6 kids. We were all between, like right now, the ages are, I'll be 21 and the youngest just turned 13. So we're all back to back, and those are my babies. Like, I raised them because I was the dad too in the house, you know? Like I had to man up and take care of the kids and feed them and this and that because mom had to work. She had bills to pay. Like their bills don't stop because there's nobody to watch your kids. Like they still come. So I had to do that. But at the same time, it was I don't know if I could say DV, domestic violence situation. I don't know. Domestic violence situation where guys would be beating on her and this and that. And drugs was a issue with our stepdad, and unfortunately took him over. And it was like he's stealing money from her to help his habits, and it was just a whole thing. And he would do stuff and cops would get called, and it's like, oh, well, mom, you're putting your kids in harm's way. We're taking your kids. So it was also in and out the system. Neither of us came from money. As you can see, Malik saying he didn't even have running water. And that's another thing. On a side note is everybody here takes what we have for granted. I didn't even know. I think in the U.S., flip something on, lights come on, water, this and that. But I went through it too where people don't know, like everybody thinks, oh, white girl, daddy's money, this and that, where I come from. But it's not. I lived in Section 8 houses in the hood, all my friends. Like I was same way. We did not come from money just because I'm white and I'm where I'm at now. But yeah, so she was single mom. I helped out, and it was just that. So I never want my mom to go through
something like that again.
Anything ever again. We want to be able to provide, and my siblings deserve it too. So,
I love it.
Push hard.
The reason why I asked that question is because most people, they see money and then they see it attached to something materialistic, but they don't realize what we've gone through to even obtain that in the first place. And those are driving factors. When you have a driver, I'm telling you, you will get exactly where it is that you want to go because it's an experience, and sometimes it stems from a past traumatic experience, something very traumatizing that we've gone through when we were younger that tells us that we don't ever want to feel this way again. And so we make the adjustments, we make those changes, And so I love the testimony that you guys have. Like y'all are purely a testimony on what it is that hard work and determination can do for you, and not letting circumstances define you. So like I have a friend that owns a meal prep company here in town, and I had asked her why she named her meal prep company the name that she had named it. And it's called Jean's Fuel Kitchen. So Jean was her mother's name, and her mother got killed in a drive-by accident. So they got the wrong house, and they shot up her house. She lived on the south side of San Antonio. And when that had happened, the bullet went straight through the window and hit her mom, and she passed away in front of both of her children. Both kids, the son and the daughter, the girl who owns the business, went through the same very traumatic experience, right? This is like, she had to go through therapy. This was on the news. They were running amok for like 3 or 5 years without justice. Finally, they caught the murderers, and they've been in prison since. So it's crazy to think about it, right? But that right there, her brother, and I don't mind talking about this on a podcast because we spoke about it before. Her brother went a different route. He went 9 to 5 and has a lot of trust issues and too good to be good issues, which is another thing that I want to talk about. That's an identity. Too good to be true is a mask that people put on themselves to make themselves believe that they aren't worthy of something great happening in their lives. And those are the types of people that stay in the same place. So he went that route where it was like 9 to 5, too good to be true, 100% just life happened to me, and that's why I am the way that I am. This girl, though, she went on to build a multi-million-dollar company and supplies a crap ton of different types of foods to individuals here in San Antonio, Texas, that are in the fitness industry. And she has vendor booths, tables, all kinds of stuff, man. And she's an entrepreneur. They were both there for the same situation. Both of them received what happened differently and took their own directions. So this is what's crazy, is that you two are in alignment, having gone through something similar, meeting in the middle of it, right? But can you say that your brothers or sisters are doing business and entrepreneurship the same way that y'all are? Yet y'all all grew up together and went through the same things, right? So this is why perspective is reality. It's not what happens to you that means anything for everybody that's watching this right now. It's how you deal with what happens to you that creates the outcome.
That's true.
So having gone to where you're at right now, right? I want to talk about now the operational side. How the hell do you do this? Like, Where do you take me from the beginning, please, and kind of throw me into this? Because I was there when TikTok was popping too.
Yeah.
Me and like 3 other guys is a good friend of mine. His name's Real King Kong. I love Kong. He goes, let's get this money. I love Kong, right? And he's like this Asian dude. He's so awesome. I love him. And he always gives me so much love, invites me on his live. I get thousands of followers because of him. And he and I took off on TikTok at the same time. Mm-hmm. I went the political route to talk about real estate.
Yeah.
I hate politics, okay? But at the time frame, Donald Trump and Joe Biden were running for presidency. Donald Trump was shooting for a second term. So I was talking about how Joe Biden's laws that he was going to put in place were going to affect real estate investors. And my page had 15, 20, 30 million views. Wow. I ended up getting to about 1.8 million followers. Wow. And then TikTok shut me down for spreading quote unquote false information, which I'll tell you right now, man, I had to restart a whole new account. My new account has like 178,000 followers, nowhere near what my first account was doing. And it's just nowhere near at all. Like if anything, it's a platform that I just feels dead. At this point, I want to start a new TikTok account and try it all over again.
I feel that.
So it sucks, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, almost every video that I made about making money online was just doing good, you know? So like you told me when you got in, you were hitting that algorithm. I could imagine what it was like back then, right? But now you have the TikTok shop, and now you have people that are drop shipping, and now it's becoming popular. I kind of want to know, like, what's the premise of this? Would y'all be okay to share with the viewers something that has blessed y'all?
Yeah. So basically, how it was like before, back then, it would be so much easier to like do TikTok. It would be way easier because I feel like there was not a lot of people that knew about TikTok dropshipping, which is called organic dropshipping. There was not a lot of people that knew about it. So in like the first beginning stages of it, like you could easily post like a shitty video and it would go viral, especially for something like a product you're trying to test. You could post it, go viral, and then you make a lot of money. But since it's such like an easy thing to get into, it's like a free thing to get into. Basically, there's no work. The only thing you got to do is just take 2 hours out of your day just to like create content and schedule each post for each day throughout the whole week. That's it. And then because you don't require money for ads, all of that, it was so easy to get into. So there's a lot of people started doing it. And now it's getting to a point where you really got to put the work in to get to your content, to make your content much better, so you can start hitting the For You. Yeah, to stand out, to like hit the For You page, so you can start generating some type of income. So now, what a lot of people are doing as well is they're making burner accounts on TikTok, and what burner accounts do is you interact with like a drop shipping page. Like let's say I'm selling the pots, someone would interact with my page, and what that does is recommends more dropshipping. So
their For You page is
filled with more dropshipping products from their burner account. So that's how people are finding new products, and that allows more people to start doing the same thing.
And to blow up in general, think outside the box. Don't do the ordinary thing with the product. So if it's an air freshener, people are hanging the air freshener on their car making a video, but that's what everybody does. You got to do something unique. Take it out of a drawer that has something in it. You got to do something crazy and outside the box. Like right now, a bracelet thing that he's doing, like Deadpool bracelet.
Yeah, I actually have
the movie
right
just came out.
The movie just came out.
So it's a good product to start.
Deadpool and Wolverine movie just came out.
Yeah.
So she had the yellow one, which signifies Wolverine, and I have the red one that signified Deadpool. So we tested this. It did pretty good, but the conversion on it wasn't pretty good.
But then we saw that burner account where other people are doing similar products, and we saw a guy take an air freshener out of a Happy Meal box, pretending
the bracelet out of the Happy Meal.
No, it's that thing that goes on the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he took out an air freshener out the Happy Meal box, and he blew up. And he started the same time we did. Yeah. So we made a new account, taking the bracelets out the Happy Meal box, start blowing up.
Yeah.
What?
So it's like when you think outside the box, don't put the bracelet on and just show the bracelets on. Then it's like, okay.
Because the text we're saying is that, oh, the new Happy Meal from McDonald's has these new bracelets in it. So everybody's commenting like, oh, wait, for real? I'm about to go to McDonald's right now so I can see if they actually have the bracelets in it, but they don't.
But you put a disclaimer, of course.
And then at the end, we put JK link is in bio, but it creates controversy, so that's what
and
pushes.
And an impulse buy as well.
And that's
then
what
people are
pushes
like, oh,
the
I
video.
need to get it now.
Yeah.
Then they'll go order. Oh, it's not, but I can order it.
So we say JK is not at McDonald's, but it's on our website. Boom. Then they go and buy it from our website.
So you guys have to create a new website per product every single time one is
That's
released?
what we do. Some people don't. They just link it all to the same. But we like to connect with our customers. So we make a whole page. If we're selling water bottles, we're going to create water dripping. We're going to create
you want
on
to
the
be branded.
page.
You don't want to have like a general store. You want it to be like a niche store specific to that product.
And you don't want to look drop ship like you're drop shipping, or you don't want to look like you're just
want it to just be like an everyday person trying to sell a badass product that you found.
And not even so much selling too, because some people don't like that you come off selling. But if you do it as like a customer who just reviewed a product, like, oh my God, these bracelets are so cute, I love them, instead of, oh, I'm selling these, come buy them, people are more likely to buy when you're saying you like the product.
Dude, I think that there's something that I got to point out from what y'all are telling me.
Yeah.
I love that y'all understand the psychology of your own clientele. Most people, they fail to hit 6 human needs. And so if you're watching this, I'm gonna give you guys some game real fast, because I believe that, again, I want y'all to take notes on this, okay? But this is, and I'll share it with you too as well, because this is amazing. When I went to Business Mastery, and I always give credit where credit due. If you ever decide to go to any type of giant seminar where personal growth and really just taking your business to the next level is the forefront of what it is that you're trying to do, best money that I ever spent was going to a Business Mastery with Tony Robbins. It's $10,000. You can get a +1, and I'm telling you, it's everything. It's literally everything. You will have a psychological breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough, a physical breakthrough, and a full-blown financial breakthrough if you apply everything that he teaches you in these seminars. And so this is the psychology of the consumer. When I want to buy something, these are 6 human needs that need to be met, okay? The first one is certainty. Certainty is it's an assurance that pain is completely avoided, and I get 100% pleasure out of doing whatever the product it is, what it does for me. So if I go to McDonald's, do you think I'm going to get hurt? No, I'm going to McDonald's because I want to get fulfilled. There's something on that menu that fulfills me. The second one is uncertainty. Well, I'm probably asking yourself, why would I want to be uncertain about something, right? Well, think about it for a second. This is the need for the unknown, a change that triggers a new stimuli in the brain.
Yeah, that's true.
What is that? So sometimes you get something or you go somewhere and you're surprised. And so that element that's there of uncertainty of, what could this be, is always at the forefront of your buying power. If I go to Walmart right now and then I see that they got buy 3 T-shirts, get 1 free, I was not expecting to see that, but it's available for me. It's the uncertainty. There's the change that's there, okay? And so uncertainty, second human need. Third one is significance. Unique, important, special. And so if you have a product that is all 3 or makes you feel all 3, you have a product that's it's relevant. It's when you take what's something or like a need that someone has and you're able to fulfill it, and it's significant to that person. Like the plane thing, the air freshener that y'all had, right? That could have been somebody's remembrance of somebody that they lost. You wouldn't even have known, but it was something that they needed right then and there, so they bought it, right? The fourth one is connection. This is a strong feeling of union with someone or something. Connection. Your product has to connect. The fifth one is growth, meaning an expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. If your product helps somebody become better in any route, any place, any area, you have a product that can be bought multiple times. And then the last one is contribution. What is it that I am contributing to for society as a whole by buying this product? And so throwing out things like I don't know if you guys know this, right? So when I was a kid, I went through domestic violence stuff as well. My mother was getting the crap beat out of her by my dad. My dad was a meth addict. So we would leave in the middle of the night and my mom would take us to these places and we would stay there for a whole month. I didn't know what they were, but they had clothes available, they had TV, they had food, they had resources. I had no idea that there's a place in almost every relevant city called the Battered Women's and Children's Shelter. And these places, mind you, are designed for children and women that are going through that. Which, God forbid that happens to anybody that's listening to this. If you are watching this, you can get help. The help is available. Contact the Salvation Army next to you. Okay? So I didn't know how to get a hold of these people. I just remembered. So I called my mom and asked her who those people were, and she told me. And so I donate 5% of my income every single year from the production company, from my real estate business, to helping children have successful Thanksgivings and Christmases every single year in these shelters. I've never said this before on a public platform. This isn't for me to get it out there. If you want to be a part of it, I'd love for y'all to be a part of it. But this is not me promoting any of these things. I don't have no nonprofit. I don't have no certificate to do this shit. I just do it because it's something that God has called me to do.
We've done that too, and we love doing that. We brought like one of those big, tall Barbie houses and stuff. We go and donate them to like Salvation Armies, Goodwills, clothes, stuff. And it literally, they'll ask us like, oh, you need a receipt? Oh, no. Like, we just love doing that. And we'll talk about it the whole car ride home. Imagine a little girl walking in there and seeing that. She's going to be so excited. That's something we just love to do.
Yeah. We run a toy drive for the production company every year. This year, we plan on doing it very, very big. We also do a turkey drive. So, you know, we try to target these areas. But we do, it's called Toys for Tots. That's the name of the foundation. If you guys are listening to this, and y'all don't mind if I'm promoting it on y'all's podcast while we're doing this. But if y'all want to be involved, make sure that you message me in October, because that's when we're going to be opening
I've
up.
even volunteered for them. They're really good.
That's amazing. So, you know, guys, these 6 human needs, when you hit all of them, you have the psychology of what it is to fulfill someone in a sale. And I want to reiterate on uncertainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. When you have all 6 in alignment, you get clarity, simplicity, alignment, and foresight. Clarity means that I know what it is that I'm buying. Full clarity. Exactly what it is exactly what I'm getting. Clarity. Simplicity. It's easy to buy it. Click one button. Boom. It comes straight shipped to me. The third piece is in alignment with what I need right now for myself. And then the last piece, foresight. I know I can come back to them and get it again. Clarity, simplicity, alignment, that and foresight. Those are the 4 things that you guys will receive by buying these types of products. Not by buying these products, but by applying the psychology of the sale.
Even you just saying that, I'm thinking about the video that we posted that got that many views. And literally every single thing that you just said had that in it. We had a caption that said like, something about, what was it? Oh, if smelly people are coming in your car. So now we're already targeting people who have a car, people that think, oh, that's funny, or people that are like, oh, I've had smelly people come in my car. Or the video, they were just intrigued. Like, just everything that you just said, that we had a variety. So if you didn't like the bear, there was a bear, a duck, a Hello Kitty. There was variety.
It still serves a purpose.
There was variety of smells. It solved a problem. That's another thing. So it's like, all that you just named was in the video, and then everybody, that's why I made the money it did. And it was like 100,000 in a few days off just insane. That product.
100,000 in just a few days doing this cool technique that you guys been able to learn. Obviously, this comes with trials and tribulations, right?
Oh, of course.
I wanted to ask you guys, what's the most difficult thing that y'all faced so far being in this industry? Because we could talk about how great it is all day, but I love to be real. If y'all don't mind sharing some of the real side. Because you can talk about all these things, but we know y'all been through it. And y'all probably still going through it. You know what I mean? I am still going through it. I have no problem saying this. We all do, right? It's just different levels mean different devils, and then you meet them. But we're stronger now. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like for you guys to share, what's the most difficult thing that y'all have gone through in this business that you've overcame?
I tell everybody, drop shipping is amazing. Anybody that wants to do it, go for it. There's free ways to do it. You don't have the money right now, go for it and do it. But I will tell you one thing off the bat, the biggest problem you're going to have is it's not consistent. Don't go quitting your real job, whatever is making you income, do not quit that, because it is very inconsistent. The month before we hit that 100,000, we were doing drop shipping, but we were struggling. We did not pay our rent for like 2 months. We couldn't afford nothing. We were barely eating. Like, we were rock bottom. We were like, oh my God, we're going to be homeless like that. And then that same like week, we have 100,000 sitting in the account. So it's like, it's very inconsistent. There's months where we can't pay our bills because of that. We do need to figure something out, but it's like, I would say the other biggest thing with it is that whole Stripe thing that we were saying, where we made so much money. They kind of flagged us like, oh, how do you have that much money coming in X amount of days? It was like 3 days.
My bad, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think the main thing is have proper systems in place before you start getting into it, because just like what happened, it happened overnight, and then we made 100,000. We didn't have the proper payment processor in place. We didn't have the proper like VAs and stuff like that to answer emails and stuff like that. So everything was like, okay, it happened so quick. So we had to put systems into place after we realized, okay, we're getting that much coming in. So I feel like that's another thing.
And you can lose it just as fast as you make it. Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that's being overlooked as well with dropshipping.
Wow.
And even if now knowing that we still have precautions in place in the documents we need, because we're like, okay, we're going to blow up. This product's already getting views. Let's find the tax, this, that. Let's find the fulfillment documents, because we already know Shopify is going to say, hey, listen, you're making $50,000 today. Like, we're going to need this document and this document. So we already have it prepared.
They ask for like supplier. Like they ask for so much.
They want you to verify the business.
They want you to verify, because there's so much in so fast. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes back to the biggest problem was that we didn't have nothing lined up. It was our first like big amount. Like we didn't know what to do, and so we found another payment processor, which was Stripe, and they winded up. We shipped all of our customers things out, and the orders that went to Stripe was about a couple hundred customers, about $6,000 or something like that, and they've refunded every single customer, and they've gotten their order because they just felt like it.
Because to them it's high risk. They don't know the nature of your business.
Exactly.
And like with Stripe, guys, for y'all try to get on payment processor stuff, I want to talk about it just for a minute. You know, y'all have to be wary doing business with these companies, especially if you're brand new and you already have a structured business. And I want to say brand new, I don't mean brand new to business, I mean brand new to using a payment processor, because then they know nothing about you. You know, you want to be able to talk to a rep that is high up there to set up your account and set it up properly, where you're able to show liquidity. So like if you have a structured business and you automatically sign up for Stripe, and then in day one you have $100,000 enter the account, I'm sorry, but your account will get shut down. You know, to them that's high risk, and they insure all of their buyers, so they don't want to take on that risk. They'd rather just refund everybody, shut your account down, tell you to use your business elsewhere, because of the amount of lawsuits that could possibly happen. These accounts, when you do create them, you want to nurture them. So like a Stripe account needs to be aged for a specific time frame, and there needs to be showcasing a significant amount of growth with a combination of refunds, a combination of disputes won, and also a combination of money in the account. So Stripe will ask you to verify the amount of money that you have. You have to have liquidity, and you have to have nurtured business in Stripe before you decide to go and enter $100,000 into one payment processor. I've seen people talk about not having problems with Stripe. I've seen people have nightmares with Stripe. We had a nightmare with Stripe. One time I had a little over $700,000 stuck in a Stripe account, which was refunded to all of my clients. And I was unable to pay a lot of people because of that. And the whole business went under because of a payment processor. So just be wary.
It's important to do your research. We were, like I said, 16, 18 years old. Like we were young. We did not know what to do. We were just like, oh, what's another payment processor? Stripe was running an ad. It's the first thing that popped up. We clicked on it, did no information, signed up, sent our money straight to them. They could have been a scam. We didn't even know. Like we were just young.
We're just desperate.
That much money. We needed somewhere to send the money to.
It's crazy though, you know, like talk about overnight, you know, from one moment literally struggling to eat to like, boom, we're on the top of what we can possibly do.
But it went just as quick. And I will tell you, we did splurge every single penny. We literally did. We went and got 2 cars. We went and bought out the lease to buy into another one. It was like $8,000 to move into where we were at, but $8,000 to leave where we were at. It was like, we just went through the money.
It's definitely something that I look back on.
Yeah.
And I think we should have did some things differently. But at the same time, we're still relatively new to that type of amount of money we're getting in. So we're still like,
of course,
you know what I'm saying? But we obviously have grown from that. We've learned from our mistakes and stuff like that. So
the next business that made money, it was, okay, let's travel, but let's do something too. And then the next one,
stuff like that.
Savings and stuff
and now
like
y'all breed Frenchies as well, right? So this isn't just the only business. That one business
we do a lot.
Birth other businesses.
You know, so that's what the thing, we invested into other businesses. So I do like treats, events, I do like weddings and all this stuff. I invested into that business. I bought like movie screens and I bought equipment so I can invest into that, which ultimately made me more money in the first month. So it was like I did that, the treats. He wants to fulfill like his outdoor life. So he bought his ATV. He's bought GoPros and stuff to film his stuff. And so we've both done stuff that will ultimately make us more money. And that's where it switched from now we're going on 21 and 23 versus when we're 18 and 16 and we were like, oh, let's just spend the money. It'll come back. So now we're actually investing and
doing investments. And like, that's how we found
we're
out as
smart.
well.
With what we're doing. We were like, okay, do we have the money to pay for a course? Do we have, okay, what's going to be our like gaining? Like, what are we gaining from it? This and that. So
I think it's great smarter now that y'all have even decided to invest in mentorship so young.
Yeah.
When I was y'all's age, I had the worst experience with a mentor. I got taken advantage of. I had to, I helped this gentleman make 70 grand and he gave me $700 and then kicked me out of his office and never allowed me into any of his real estate events. Yeah, and so that was my first experience with getting a mentor. And so like, I just remember how defeated I felt when I left and how like, it was almost like there was like shame. At first it was like, am I not worthy of this business? Am I just like, why do these things keep happening? Like, is there something? Because I'm doing everything that I can.
Right.
And at the time, I'm about to be a dad. So I'm scared on where it was that I was going to go. You know, I decided to work for another organization. And then I got kicked out of that one, too. Started my own real estate company shortly after that. But I remember the year that all of this happened was the same year that my son was going to be born. Every trial and tribulation that you can think of happened. Like, I got popped. My crib got raided. The cops took all of my weed, all of my money, all of my guns. Damn. I had lost everything. I didn't even know I was going to pay bills, you know, and like my baby mom, God bless her soul, she literally took care of me for like 4 months so I could get back on my feet again. And I'll never forget what she told me. She said, you're one of the smartest people that I've ever met in my life. There's no way in hell you're not going to do great things in this world. It doesn't matter where we're at in this world. You will figure it out. Yeah. And I'll never forget that, you know, and I'm crying in her titties while she's fucking telling me this shit. Like, that's the relationship that I had with her. And I was with that woman for 10 years, and I'm always very, very supportive of her, you know, like, she's my baby mom. She was there when I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? So she's my best friend. And so, like, we've been through fire together, and now we're great co-parents. We have a great relationship with our son. We're doing a lot of amazing things, and we operate a lot of different businesses. She has her own thing. I have my own thing, and we guide each other, you know? So, like, still very supportive of what I have going on. So like during this time frame, I was faced with so much trial and tribulation, but I stepped out on faith. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure this shit out. That next month, January 2017, I made $300,000 in 2 weeks on one wholesale deal. Yeah, that one. And then literally, like, I met a guy who would then bless my life, man. His name was Aaron Pfeiffer. And he actually passed away last year due to stomach cancer. And when I met him, I didn't know that he had cancer. He didn't tell us that he was dying. I just would see him kind of get skinnier throughout the years. But he bought all my houses for a whole year. I made a little over $1.3 million working with him. In the year 2017, he put me back on my feet. He was one of the first guys in San Antonio to ever believe in me. And so like that, it can switch. You know, but this would be my first lowest point. Point. The reality is that you are going to keep getting these low points. No matter what, you are going to get more low points. And it's never going to stop because every single income level that I've been able to reach, and I've done well over 8 figures. I have no problem saying this. My taxes are paid. My people are taken care of. I'm doing everything that I can to stay above water. And legitimately where I'm at in my business right now, I'm stable and I'm growing. And that's the most valuable place that you can be. It's never how much money you make. It's how much money you keep and how many generations that you can keep it for. And what makes me so like just proud of you guys and is just that you sought mentorship. I was so egotistical, bro, at the beginning. Like you couldn't tell me nothing because I had already gotten through the worst things in life. Chest was out, strong, flexing on everybody, bro. I didn't care. Like any of y'all that ever doubted on me, I'm shitting on all you guys right now, you know? And there was a lot. And I felt like I had a lot of people to prove myself to, man. And the only person that is worth proving your value to, period, is the person who gave you life, man. And I'm talking about God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Legitimately owe everything to them. But most people don't know how to surrender like that, you know? And so like they hold it all in. So like guidance and mentorship, bro, it comes in the form of spiritual, physical, and mental. And you get all three. And that's the key. That's the cheat code. 3 mentors. 1 for business, 1 for fitness, 1 for faith. If you have these 3 types of people, sometimes you can get all 3 in one. If you do, man, you have somebody that can take you to the next level, you know? But dude, my mentor, Preston Brown, changed my life. I paid 35 G's for him. Greatest man that I've ever put money into. I recommend him to anybody that's watching this. After me, that's where you guys go. No doubt. And like legitimately, before our 10 years over, my goal is that you're making a minimum of 5-10 million at least. And so like my goal for y'all is so large. And I see it because of what y'all been able to accomplish already. But I would tell y'all, if you want to build $1 billion company, Preston is the guy to talk to. He does a little over $800 million a year doing development deals in El Paso. Yeah, I love him to death. He is like a brother to me and like a father. I've never had one. But to him, he gave me my life back. He showed me God. He helped me kill trauma that had been existing in me. A mentor will help you move mountains, dude.
That's facts. That's why I look at it, because it always takes me back to that one quote. It takes money to make money. That's what I always look at. So like you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest into other people. To like you see yourself in other people. So you need to invest into like what you want to become. If that makes sense. You
Amen. Amen. With mentorship, you know, what was the point for y'all? Like for me, I'll tell you what. I had so much going on. I didn't know what direction I wanted to take my business. And it felt like I was making all of this money and spending it all on overhead and expenses. So like, I'll tell you, my turning point was I had an office. I was making probably like, I don't know, $150,000, $180,000 a month normally. But we were also having an overhead about $100,000, $120,000 a month. And so we were making 30 to 40 grand positive. It just didn't make sense to me. And I felt like I was running in a circle, not getting anywhere, you know? And so that was what inspired me to invest into a mentor. And even then I was still reluctant. What was the turning point for you guys where y'all were like, you know what, let's get into a coach. Let's find a mentor.
I feel like,
I only did because he wanted to. I was like, there's no way. Why are we? Well, because the mentor he found was like, what was it for?
It was for drop shipping. So
for drop shipping.
I don't want to say his name because he's popular out there, but I invested in the name. I think he's called AC Hampton on Instagram.
Oh, you said his name.
But so I invested in his course because he said that he guaranteed that he would
you would make generate, X amount of dollars.
Generate X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And then I paid, I think, around $3,000 or $4,000 to him for the mentorship. And then on each call, it was one person, then after the next. So it was never the same person you were speaking.
One-on-one. You're re-explaining your whole story so over and over.
Each person you interact with is a different person. You got to tell them, what you did last time in the last call. They don't know what you did. So it was like a waste of time. And he said, in a month or so, we'll help you get your ads up. You get some sales on your ads because we're doing Facebook ads. Facebook, we set up Facebook. We kept getting banned. They didn't know why we were getting banned. And then they just made promises.
I think it was a lack of communication on his management end as well, because I know there are some people who had successful stories with him. It just wasn't for us.
It just wasn't for us. And
we were scammed a few times. It was like different things. So I was like, we don't need a mentor. Let's learn it on our own. We already had success with drop shipping. We wanted somebody to help us grow. Just like with real estate, we know how to wholesale real estate. We were like so close, but we want you to help us learn more and scale.
We knew like the basics of like understanding of how it works, but we just needed it more in depth, like more scripts and stuff like that, like how to go out and just, you know what I'm saying? We just need like someone who been in there, seen the game, and then just like could just coach us and stuff like that.
Before I didn't believe in it because I was like, we're gonna get scammed again. Nobody's true. Like you're paying them, so of course they're just gonna be like, oh, well, I already have the money. Like they don't really care. They don't want to see you grow. They just care about the money. It's how I thought of it based off my past experiences. But like after meeting you and me and Malik really sat down and we talked about getting a mentor, it was like something with you clicked, like something was drawing me to you. I saw you in a Facebook group and it was just a picture of you holding I think a check or something, and I was like, oh, like, congratulations. But then I would just keep thinking about the post. And I was like, let me message him. Like, maybe he does something, like, maybe he'll teach me maybe something. And then I seen you just started, I don't know if you just started offering courses or what you did.
Yeah,
but I was
very
like,
recent.
he's mentoring. But at the time, I didn't have the money. I know it was, you put me in the groups anyways, even though I didn't have the money. You were still teaching stuff. I listened to some of your podcasts or whatever you were doing, like videos. And I was like, I would tell Malik all the time, I'm like, I don't know, it's something drawing me. You also believed in God. And I was like, I don't know, it's something drawing me to, like, just working with you. And then we talked for a while. And then what is it now, a year later, I was like, okay, we have the money. I was like, let's reach back out, see if he's still doing it, see what's going on. We talked for a few weeks. Again, I went through something, didn't have the money again, but a few weeks later, I was like, I'm going to come back to you. Like, I promise. I messaged you, and you were like, let's do it. You were always patient. You were always like, yeah, like let's do it. Like, and then we did what we did, and now we're here.
You know, anybody I talk to, mentorship is a marathon. It's not a race. Yeah. And I think mentors give off this bad impression that your success is supposed to happen in a specific time frame.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll tell you, man, you are going to learn a lot more about everything than just real estate with me.
Yeah.
And like, my goal is that y'all are great content makers, great spiritually, you know, and also, like, not just in those things, but a systematic approach to business. Like, you know, we were talking and we were having dinner the other night, right? One of the things that you were mentioning was we were having struggles getting the businesses off of the ground because you have other businesses that have taken off of the ground already that are keeping everything together, right?
Having a hard time managing, like,
you know, and so, like, I had talked about the system, right?
Yeah.
That had happened to me years ago. The same thing that you're talking about. I had found something and I just could not pull away from it, and it was wholesaling. And again, like, guys, like, I'm not trying to shun on anybody who's doing wholesaling real estate. I believe that it is a great business model and anybody can make a lot of money and be very successful with it. But what I will say is that if you're not taking a systematic approach to it, you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. You know, and so, like, most people that get into wholesaling, and forgive me if this offends you, you're not business people. You're just hustlers. And it's just another hustle. And that's why it won't work for you. You see, real estate is a long-term game. Okay? Gain and game. It's both. And so, like, when you think of wholesaling, it's never how fast can I get a deal now. It's what can I learn and what skill sets can I gain so that when a deal presents itself, I am ready. Eventually, you get so good at the skill set and the strategies and what they are and how relevant they can be to any real estate deal, you are able to find them more often. You almost, like, become a magnet. You could be talking to a friend, and the friend could be like, "Oh, dude, you know, Jenny, man, down the road, her husband and her, they divorced. Now she has to pay the mortgage on her own. He took off with another woman." It's like, well, fuck. Well, all right. You know, in my head, automatically, as soon as that was said to me, I thought subject to. Well, you know, I'd be willing to take over that mortgage payment for her. Now it's there. It's a skill set.
That's right.
And just talking about it all of the time. You know, like, marketing is a lot of times just talking about it. That's what this podcast does. I do, like, while I've been here with you guys and like, you've been in my office today, I've had 5 people message me about real estate deals on social media. And so, like, then there's the documentation part of it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's just so much to offer in this business realm, and I think that if more people educated themselves on better business etiquette, they'd actually be more successful in wholesaling. And not only that, but a lot of the stuff that you guys will learn throughout the time frame of us being together, you're going to learn a lot about things that you're going to apply to your business that's doing the most for you right now. Because by no means should what y'all are doing stop just because you're in mentorship with me. That needs to be a constant, and what you allow is for yourself to fit time into your day to take these things. The 4 pillars to a great life, and I hope you don't mind if I'm just kind of spitting game at this point. Definitely. The 4 pillars are the measurements to what it is to have a great life. It's faith, it's family, it's fitness, it's finance. Those are the 4 pillars. Faith isn't so much your belief in God, it's also your internal belief that you are capable and willing of receiving great things. The second piece, Family, I think both of us can agree that we've been through notions where maybe the people that we were born into weren't necessarily the ones that were destined to build businesses with us. It's okay. We love them all the same, right? But family is surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who can love you for where you're at and see you for where you're going. Yeah. Man, that right there is a cheat code. You get around other people that can see you and not only that, see where you're going and love you for both stages of your life. You have a place that you want to be all of the time. Because I can't be around low vibrational people, dude. Yeah. If you are around me and I just feel like I can love you, but I'm gonna have to love you from a distance, man, because you're you, and that's okay. I love you. God bless you and who you are. Yeah. I just know where I'm at, and I love myself enough to not put myself here. Yeah, okay? Right. And I think a lot of us, we crutch ourselves because we want to take care of the people that we love, especially the ones that we've grown up with, right? Exactly. So family is also who you're associated with. The third piece is fitness, dude. And fitness doesn't mean you got to be this fucking six-pack dude, man. You don't have to be in the gym every single day. Fitness is, what can you fit in your life? What are you not putting in your life that needs to be addressed? There's a book that I read for you guys that are watching this right now. It's called Eat That Frog. So if every single day somebody told you that if you didn't eat a live toad, that you would die, God would strike you down at the end of the day, and you'd go to hell. Yeah. What time of the day would you eat that fucking frog? Truthfully.
Morning. Done. Get it over.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Destiny. Get that shit done. I don't want to fucking eat a live toad, but you're telling me that I'm going to hell if I don't? Fuck you. I'm eating the toad, right? The toads in the book are what we procrastinate on. They're the things that we feel that we're not capable of fitting into our life. There's a difference between having a schedule and having a time block. A schedule is like, you can meet me here in my office at this time, right? I scheduled you guys to be here, like 10 a.m.? Then it got pushed 10:54. Then I got here and we were in the building by 10:15. I apologize. I swear I'm on my shit most days, but your boy just got over being sick. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm human, right? But if we time blocked for it to be different, a time block is like, let me call my mom real fast and I say, hey mom, I just wanted you to know that I love you and I appreciate you. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing something that's relevant to where we're going to be in the next 5 years, okay? And I don't want you to take offense to this, but just during these hours, this is what I'm going to be doing. And I just need you to love me and appreciate it because I promise you, this is for us, okay? And so during this time frame, between this time and that, I won't be available. And you might not be able to get a hold of me. Even if the world was on fire, this is what I'm doing, okay? And so I love you, Mom. Just know that this is for you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Yeah. That's a time block. You see what's different? Yeah. There's a connection attached to the time block versus just a schedule. People reschedule shit all the time. Yeah. So what are you willing to fit into your life? And then finance is a combination of four things. Number one, we start with the amount of money that needs to be made. Number two, we give ourselves the time frame. Number three, what do we intend to give to receive? Number four, what is the plan? What is the map? And then number five is our statement. What are we going to dedicate these finances to? Because it has to be bigger than us. Yeah. And so those are the five key indicators of what it is to have your finances under control. It's not just having your finances, it's also having a plan. So if you can add these things to what it is that you're doing within the pillars of faith, family, fitness, and finance, you'll have a measurable life. And so anybody who doesn't have that, it's because you haven't self-assessed yet. And so you need to. If you're watching this, you need to. I've been so impressed by you guys since the day I've met y'all. And it's super fucking cool. And I'm so grateful that y'all brought one of your dogs down here. I was hoping that we could get her in the podcast before I had to land this plane. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very grateful. And I also appreciate y'all wanting to grow and become more. Y'all are very young. You know what I'm saying? What is some advice that you would give to maybe another 21-year-old, 22, 23-year-old person who's listening to this episode right now that wants to do something more for themselves?
So I would say just trust your gut and just go for it. You know what I'm saying? It may seem like it's the wrong decision to take in the moment, but like maybe like your 5-year-old self would probably thank you for making that decision. So I would just say go for it. Don't be scared. It might seem scary, but your future self is going to thank you for doing it.
And even if you do, because I was going to say the same thing, but if you do it and it doesn't work out, take it as a lesson learned, and continue to just push forward and go. Because when you're at your lowest, that's when you learn like the most, I feel like. Like for an example, my mom and my whole family are all females. They all got pregnant at 16 and they all have 6 kids. I took that and never looked at my mom some type of way for the guy she was with for getting pregnant at 16, and took it as a lesson as I never want to do that in life, so let me flip the script. I'm not going to be pregnant at 16. I'm not going to have whatever. So you can always look at what your parents did right and wrong, and you don't have to be the same image as them. You can flip it and you can do something greater. Just because your parents are broke don't mean you need to be broke. Like, you can flip it and you can push and do what you need to do. Don't be afraid to do it. You might fail, you might not, but whatever happens, you can still take it as a lesson and continue to go.
Man, straight game. Damn.
And it don't matter about age either. Like, you could be 50 and think, oh, my life's almost over. Like, they're 20, they got their whole lives. Do it. Just do it. Yeah. Literally.
I love it, man. Where can my people that are watching this follow you guys?
Anywhere.
She has her own independent Instagram. What's yours again? At Destiny. I'm literally Destiny. Is that it?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
Destiny and Malik.
I'm going to drop it in the freaking comments. Y'all share it with me what y'all are coming up with. Y'all can even create a new page for this. You're probably going to get a crap ton of people that are going to follow y'all.
And anybody that wants to know about drop shipping too, I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. But you got to put in the work. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yep, I charge for this, that. No, I'll tell you for free, but you just got to put the work in and just do it.
Look at that, man.
Yeah.
Always remember this, everybody. Blessed people, bless people. All right?
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much for being on my show.
Thank you for having us, man.
I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's get it.